States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have three proclamations to read here tonight. I'll start with the one for Minnesota Manufacturers Week. Whereas the manufacturing industry is a dynamic part of Minnesota's economy, and promotion of this sector's strength, success, and high quality of life is an integral part of Minnesota's economic development strategy. And whereas manufacturing has the largest total payroll of any business sector in Minnesota, providing $17.3 billion in wages, whereas manufacturing contributes more than $40 billion to Minnesota's economy each year and produces the largest share, 13.7%, of the state's gross domestic state product. And whereas manufacturing exports brought more than $18.6 billion into the Minnesota economy in 2013. Whereas manufacturing provides skilled, high-paying jobs which significantly contribute to Minnesota's high standard of living and economic vitality. Now therefore, I, Mark Peterson, Mayor of the City of Winona, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim the week of October 20th to the 24th, 2014 as Minnesota Manufacturers Week. I have another one here for Pastoral Care Week, whereas Winona Health seeks to care for the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, and whereas the pastoral care chaplains and pastoral care volunteers share in mission by providing support for the spiritual concerns of the entire community. And whereas the theme for Pastoral Care Week in 2014 is spiritual well-being, emphasizing the life-giving nature of this caregiving, and whereas all share in this basic concern for the human spirit. Now therefore, I, Mark Peterson, Mayor of the City of Winona, do hereby proclaim the week of October 20th to the 27th, 2014 as Pastoral Care Week, and encourage all to celebrate the contributions of pastoral care chaplains and pastoral care volunteers to the healing work of Winona Health. And lastly, I have one for Love Your Melon Day. Whereas thousands of children in the United States are diagnosed with cancer every year, and this disease directly impacts their quality of life, and whereas the Love Your Melon Foundation was started by college students on October 22nd, 2012, with the mission of improving the quality of life for children battling cancer. And whereas Winona State University college students running the Love Your Melon Foundation's programs have helped to provide therapeutic entertainment for children battling cancer and assisted in donating over 2,000 hats in the past year to children battling cancer and their families at children's hospitals in Minnesota. And whereas college students running the Love Your Melon Foundation's programs have brought superheroes, musicians, artists, and professional athletes to donate over 7,450 hats to children battling cancer in children's hospitals and Ronald McDonald houses across the country, and the program Cloud Rides has taken 15 children battling cancer on helicopter, plane, boat, and limo rides. And whereas the Love Your Melon Foundation not only directly impacts the lives of children battling cancer and their families, but it inspires college students to get involved in their own communities to make a difference. And whereas the awareness and funds raised on Love Your Melon Day will create and sustain therapeutic treatment programs in children's hospitals in Minnesota and across the country to further improve the quality of life for children battling cancer. Now therefore, I, Mark Peterson, Mayor of the City of Winona, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014 to be Love Your Melon Day in the City of Winona. And I understand Sydney is here from Love Your Melon Day, and if you'd like to, you can step to that microphone if you wish, and just you have a word, I guess, you want to say.
Okay.
You can lower that if you wish. There you go.
My name is Sydney Schindler, and I'm an ambassador for Love Your Melon. Love Your Melon is an established nonprofit organization run by college students. It is on a mission to put a hat on the heads of all children battling cancer in America. Through funding from the Buy One, Give One hat program and donations, the Love Your Melon Foundation provides hats for children battling cancer. The hats keep children warm, shield them from the sun, and help them cope with chemotherapy treatment. I'd like to thank Mayor Mark Peterson for helping me bring Love Your Melon Day to Winona and declaring October 22nd Love Your Melon Day. On Wednesday, I will be participating in a Love Your Melon superhero event in Minneapolis, but there are 2 other ambassadors here in Winona who will be handing out various items around campus that will be promoting Love Your Melon Day. If you'd like to know more or are interested in supporting this wonderful cause, please visit loveyourmelon.com. Thank you.
If you want, I'll give you this proclamation.
This is for you and all of your staff and I love your mom.
Holy cow.
Holy melons. Stuff is
Yeah.
holy melons.
Bunch of hats in there for the staff and they want them, I guess. Thank you. I have one last announcement, and that's just to let everybody know that Main Street is going to be closed this Thursday through Tuesday for repairs. CP Rail is going to be repairing the crossing there, and I'm sure we're all going to be very happy when Tuesday rolls around and we have a nice new crossing on Main Street. So no more of this going around. And that's all I have. The city manager.
Nothing.
Roll call.
Mayor Peterson.
Here.
Councilman Thurley. Here. Craig.
Here.
Alexander. Here. Iden.
Here.
Borzakowski.
Here.
Double.
Here.
Under the petitions, requests, and communications, item 3.1 is an appointment to the Merit Board of Ann Nelson.
Move to approve that appointment.
Second.
Motion by George, seconded by Michelle. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.2 is a banner request from the Edge Church to have a banner over Mankato Avenue from November 24th through December 8th.
I move to approve that request.
I'd second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.3 is request by Women in Business to hold a 5K on Saturday, February 7th.
Move to approve that request.
Second.
Motion by George, seconded by Michelle. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Under new business, item 5.1 is the Winona Information and Referral Program grant application. This is also known as the Senior Advocacy.
I move to authorize administration to apply for the SEMA dollars.
Second.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Jerry. Any discussion? George?
Could somebody just give us a briefing on this a little bit, or?
Mayor and council, this is the Senior Advocacy Program, which we coordinate with Winona County, who provides some funding for this program. It helps seniors who have specific issues during the year. They serve a large number of seniors and help them with their individual issues and problems as they arise. And this is a normal program. We've been conducting this for many, many years. And this is one of our funding sources, is this grant.
Thank you.
We'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.2 is the Housing and Building Code clarifications.
I would move to introduce the attached 3 ordinances.
Motion by Al,
I'd second that.
seconded by Pam. Discussion?
Yeah, I have a question about how this, or does it change any sprinkler requirements and how, and if so, how does it change those? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Greg Carroll, I'm your new building official, by the way.
Welcome.
Nice to be here. Sir, could you repeat the question again?
Well, these changes address, there's a clarification on sprinkler requirements, but it doesn't expand the requirement for sprinklers beyond what it is now.
as far as I know, this was put in by our fire folks. Do you have any history on the sprinkler application? That was put in by our, no, wait a minute, give me just a second here.
Sure. Hate to start you out with a tough
No,
question.
that's fine, that's fine. Oh, no, it, I believe all it did was change some language that said that the sprinkler requirements are as required by the building code and not the fire code.
Okay.
Actually, the building code establishes criteria, and the fire code enforces the sprinkler requirements. So it was more of a cleanup than anything else, to just get the terminology
Okay.
right, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Other questions? All right, thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
If there are any other questions, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.3, improvements to the Boathouse LLC.
I'd move to allow the boathouse to make those improvements.
I'll second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Jerry. I know Lyon is here from the Boathouse. I think it's a wonderful project. I think the Boathouse kind of has proven itself to be a success down there in Levy Park, and I think this is going to only enhance their business, and the city will be paid back to an improvement to its own building. So I think it's a good thing.
I have one question, because I think it's fantastic. The designs look great. This question is probably more for Pam, can help me with this. How will this improvement that I understand they're paying for with Port Authority loan, how will that fit in with the Levy Park plan? If they're gonna make these improvements to the building, from the designs I saw, it showed the building as being gone. So I'm worried that they're making an investment in something that's not gonna be there.
No, I think the plans you saw and that other people might have seen were part of a whole cafeteria array of ideas that were presented by the first consultants. And that had a lot of different repositioning of items on the levy. And no, those were just ideas. We have, the committee has never
Accepted that, or?
has never mentioned moving or changing the
Okay.
boathouse.
So we're planning for them to be there, so their money's well invested.
It's not going to happen.
Yes.
That was my only concern for them.
And remember, it has to come in front of us before,
It's not going to
It was
happen.
in the plan. Just wanna make sure.
Any other comments, George?
Yes, I serve on the Port Authority Revolving Loan Fund, and Lyon and Ed came before us, and it is a good project. We all agreed that, to go forth with it, and I think you said it best, is that getting improvements to a city building. So, and I'm very confident that everything will be paid back. There's no doubt in my mind on that. So, good luck, gentlemen.
Plus, it's jobs. They
Yeah.
lay off
Yes.
a number of people every winter, and hopefully with this improvement, they won't have to.
you guys run an excellent business and the food is amazing.
I think I know where this vote's going, but we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes.
Vote with your stomach.
Item 5.4, alternate side parking ordinance amendment for the new angled parking on Main Street.
I'd move to introduce the ordinance for adoption.
I would second that.
Motion by Michelle and seconded by Pam. Any discussion? George?
I just have a question. What has council been hearing about the change to the parking on Main Street? I know it absolutely created more parking slots, but I'm not hearing very much too positive about the parking on Main Street, so.
I, like the rest of them, you guys, I'm sure, I've heard some concerns, a couple of complaints, but I did ask 3 of the business owners and they liked it. And they did ask, one of them very explicitly asked, please give it some time. Like anything, it's going to be different. So I've heard both sides, but somebody who has seen the benefit of it. As a matter of fact, one of the complaints he had, somebody came in and went into his establishment and they were complaining about it, and he said, well, where did you park? He says, right in front of your business. The usual complaints when they came into his establishment is, there's no parking, I had to walk a block to get here. So, I was on the fence about it, but it's there, I think we probably should just wait, and that's what the business owners asked me, just wait.
Ma'am?
Yes, yes. It was during the Live at the Levee weekend, the Saturday Live at the Levee, that I heard all of that parking was taken. It was quite convenient. People were really happy to see it down there.
I say, I didn't mean to scare anybody. I supported it, when it came to the council table, but just hearing, feedback from people that, one way, if we really want to get it to work, is maybe take the median out. I don't know, but we'll have to see what the winter holds as far as snow plowing goes, because it's probably, and their concern is if we get a lot of heavy snow, and if it's not cleared out right away, that it could get, narrower than, because the street actually is narrower now, so we'll play it out. Just want to know what everybody's hearing, so.
Paul?
I can honestly say that because of the parking, I was able to find a parking place and eat downtown for
There's a satisfied citizen. Anything, Al?
Well, as the lone negative on the council for the process, I think people realize I'm the person to call when they have complaints about it, I guess, or something. But the main thing I've heard about the diagonal parking, besides the newness of it, is the inability to safely back out into traffic. And especially if there are larger vehicles parked on either side of a person with a smaller vehicle, it's very difficult to see if there's oncoming traffic to safely back. And I haven't heard any reports of any accidents, but people tell me they've had a lot of close calls. And I think that should continue to be monitored and, see what we need to do, if anything, in the future.
I only wish the lines were longer. Why were the lines painted that long? I was told that they had to be painted that long in order to be for the longest regular diagonally parked vehicle, which would be a full-size pickup, because they stick out.
I thought they were parking a limo down there.
My God, I thought they were parking a bus. Yeah, those lines are really, really long.
They want to make sure you can see it, Jerry.
Man,
This is your line.
it's there.
Anything else? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.5 is a license agreement with the Latch Building Partnership LLC.
I would move to enter into a license agreement with the Latch Building Partnership.
Second?
Motion by Al, seconded by George. I see Peter Shortridge is here. Great project, with the way you're going about this project, with the approvals and the everything. I think it's going to be a real enhancement to our downtown. Michelle?
I'm just wondering about the parking, because as we all know, it's a problem downtown, and I know that we have probably some license agreements parking in other locations where it is not downtown. So are these spots available for public use? Because I know like where the purple is on the map we're given and on the green, a lot of people park there to run in to eat, get their glasses checked, go to their sport medicine appointments. What's going to happen to that? Is that become private parking?
Yes, Mayor and members of council, if you look at the map, the green area is actually the alley that people drive through. The blue area that's identified as Port Authority, that parking would be used by all of the businesses on that block. But it wouldn't be public parking. It could be licensed by the partnership for either clients or employees at the offices on that block.
So what's happening in the orange and green on the map?
So the green will remain an alley, and on the orange area, there'll be parking created.
Again, for the buildings on this block only?
Correct.
So the public space parking will still only be available in the lot on the other side of the purple.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the public is losing theoretically about a dozen spots, open public.
Open public, that's correct. However, in the reconfiguration that the Port Authority reviewed at their meeting, they're actually, because of efficiency and layout, we had a plan provided by Mr. Shortridge, and it shows 12 additional stalls can be put in this area.
And does that mean that these businesses require their people to park there, opening up the spots in the other lots?
Right.
Or would they still be parking?
No, they would be, that's for the employees and clients of the businesses.
You can see I'm just concerned about losing more downtown parking. This is a fairly busy parking area.
Yes.
Okay,
So if there's a gain of 12 spots, is there a no loss of parking then?
Correct.
except for, I thought you said we lost public parking.
Public parking,
Yes,
that's correct.
of
But the
12
total
spots.
number of stalls would be a wash.
Mayor and council, I mean, you need to look at it as the businesses will be taking part of their employee base and their customer base and providing some parking on their own in those spots. So that it will be an increase of 12 parking stalls. And the general public will have an increase in the Port Authority lot, the main lot, because the users of the building will have other options.
Well, I'm just looking at the map and seeing that, you know, the McMahon portion, which I understand he's selling, is where his employees park. And they're not gonna be parking there.
No, they still will be.
So they're still gonna park in those spots. The Vision Center is not gonna lose those spots.
No.
Okay,
And remember, the Vision Center has parking for its customers already.
yes, I know.
Yes.
It's not enough.
Other questions? Thank you, Lucy. If there aren't any other questions, we'll vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.6, approval of the airport reconstruction project change orders.
I move for approval of the attached resolution.
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by George. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 7.1 is council concerns.
We'll start with Paul.
I'll pass tonight.
Okay, Pam?
I'm passing, thank you.
George?
No man, I got extra time, huh?
Oh, no.
Again, I think several of us from council probably heard about parking, which I guess it's a parking night, with the Senior Friendship Center, that, you know, there's hardly very little parking available, and they talked about the Hardee's lot. Do we allow parking in the Hardee's lot now for senior people to go to the Senior Friendship Center?
Mayor and council, that is a private parking lot owned by Hardee's.
Okay.
So it's up to Hardee's if they wish to allow people to use it, and they have at times
Okay.
for people attending the senior center. I think one of the things that's going to help in that area is Winona National Bank with their new project to provide their drive-up lanes. They're going to be providing additional parking for their employees who currently park in our public parking lot across the street, what we refer to as the Chrysler lot.
Okay.
And so I think there'll be open parking in that lot for senior center attendees.
Okay.
And there's 10 spaces there
Okay.
that front the senior center on the far end.
At one time, did we provide parking in the Hardee's lot, and it wasn't really being used?
That's correct. The Port Authority did designate stalls in that lot for senior center attendees, and it was very seldom used in the past.
Okay.
So we opened those stalls back up because that lot is very highly used.
But we still have an option, if we would need one, to negotiate with Hardee's as far as getting any parking if need be, correct?
We could certainly talk to them,
Okay.
yes. They need to have appropriate number of parking stalls for their business and what's required under our ordinance, so they have to be somewhat cognizant of what their needs are.
Okay.
through the whole process.
I think Jerry had a question on that, or?
It was answered, thanks.
Okay. What's the plan then as far as replacing Amy's position, administrative, what is she, secretary?
Yes, we will be advertising for that position shortly
Okay.
and filling that position.
Okay.
Yes.
And a big thank you to all manufacturers of our city surrounding area for your investment in this community, your investment in the workforce, providing jobs for many of the residents of our city, providing jobs outside of just your manufacturing to our construction workers, public utility workers, to everyone. It's without manufacturing, thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for out there in our community development department. We're all working to get businesses to town. We've been doing a good job of that. And a big thank you to everyone, because that's what provides and that's what makes this town tick. Thank you.
You, George, Michelle,
Nothing.
Jerry?
On the job deal, I guess I could say this. People said there's no place to work in Winona. The problem in Winona, as many now know, is it's not, are there enough jobs, is we don't have enough people to fill those jobs. And at any given time, now people can argue these aren't the best jobs. Well, it's only up to the individual to decide that. But if you go to just one of the websites, Minnesota Works, and you go within 25 miles of 55987, which is basically Winona, and you go the jobs open within the last 7 days, you will have 150 to 250 jobs every single day. And they range from professors at Winona State all the way down to jobs that, you know, some of our best manufacturing jobs and managerial jobs, supervisory jobs. So they range the gamut, but every single day, that's every single day, it's 52 a page, and it's never been less than 3 pages plus. That's it.
All right. Al?
Okay, just like to compliment city staff. I've been working with them on a couple of different constituent-related issues, and I compliment them for their good work and skill. And we had a meeting with some constituents about an issue, and staff was very well appreciated by me, and I'm sure by the constituents. And I don't know, this goes back a ways. This goes back probably to the 60s. But Winona is, and this has to do with the television station, Channel 13 out of Eau Claire. Winona is in the La Crosse, Eau Claire advertising area, so on our cable systems, we have to provide Channel 13, even though it's 75 miles away. But we've had the channel on our system for many years, and for those that grew up in Winona watching Channel 13, there was a children's show on in the early days of television, and it was called The Sheriff Bob Show. Bob Dawson was the character who dressed up as a sheriff and presented cartoons and things like that for his audience, and they had a peanut gallery, if you will, with kids who would have hot dogs provided by the sponsor and stuff. And I was fortunate to work with Sheriff Bob one summer when I was an intern in my college years and got to know him. And he was one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. And I had a call from a Eau Claire television or newspaper today that he had passed away today at 90. So sympathy to the family of Sheriff Bob.
All right, thank you.
That's all I have.
Under the consent agenda, there are 5 items. The approval of the minutes for October 6th, the final adoption of an ordinance to establish liquor license fees for 2015, an ordinance to eliminate no parking loading zone on West 4th Street, an ordinance to amend the Winona City Code, Chapter 46, Fire Prevention, and a claim against the city by Nick Quimby.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes.
Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Al, was that Dawson?
I had a call from Steve Blue's secretary.
There's Bob.
Follow